And
we're back.
Let's
There was a
go.
conclusion of game one. It happened. If you don't want spoilers, mute your stream now in 3, 2, 1. Red side did win the last game. We will potentially go back and stream that. We'll have to see if we can get through the files and have the time to do it. But we're going to try to get through this game too. There will be a swap here on which teams are on what sides. So USA will be on blue and one will be on red. So we will swap these over. And we will get back into draft in a second. Looks like everyone is ready in lobby. So we are going to head into draft. Try to make this thing go away. Okay, cool. So we're back here again with
Lilia
the
ban.
Lilia ban, yeah. Let's see if there is a Kha'Zix ban for red side here. I would really like to see the most played champion that I'm assuming popped off in that second half of the game, seeing that it got 4 kills, well, 2 kills early, but 2 kills for his mid lane before we went away at 7 minutes. Also the most played champion for my back is sore, so would like to see a Kha'Zix ban coming out here, or a Prio jungle into the counter to pick it up.
Yeah, it would make a whole lot of sense.
Looks like they are going for Vi Diana again. These are also 2 champions that were played by this jungler, but not nearly as much as the 750,000 mastery points on the Kha'Zix that he has.
Not much variation in the bans so far.
I believe exact same bans as the first set, which I would have liked to see some adaptation, especially after how the first set went. But, you know, here we are, rocking it out.
We'll see. You think they first pick it again?
The Yasuo? No.
The Yas was from...
I don't know.
So
yeah, the Yasuo was
yeah,
I think I would pick the Kha'Zix up here, but maybe... Okay, they want Tahm Kench.
DK.
Interesting. So maybe we're looking at top laner likes to play a lot of Kench, or possibly flexing it this time, since they did pick Poppy early last time into the Yas.
Probably did a solid job into the Gwen if they're picking it this early, so...
I would assume.
Not horrible if you can get a flex pick that is solid blind into a lot of things.
I think Kench going into like a very AP resistant looks like they pick it again, so maybe it might have been pretty even. I think Kench can definitely hold his own against Gwen. Gwen after 2-3 items should just shred him though, so it is an interesting matchup. It looks like they're both okay with the scaling.
Yeah, and the fast pickup for the Maokai too.
I like the swap off of the Rel and going for a Maokai, a little bit more lockdown now for the potential assassin picks that we are seeing coming out here. I would assume we're going to see something similar, maybe not a Kha'Zix into Maokai Gwen. It doesn't seem as great, but if they're going to play an AD like Jinx again with no peel, or sorry, if one's going to play something like Yasuo again, they can just go. They are playing Jinx, so...
DK Jinx.
Looks like they are locking down the front-to-back angle again.
So far, same champions for Team USA.
The salty run back never fails.
Is it salty if you win with it?
Yeah, I think it's only salty if you lose.
Braum! For Kench top.
Okay, Morgana.
Okay.
I actually would prefer the Braum in this scenario. I think blind if they're gonna pick it early, but
Maokai or Morgana not terrible into Maokai.
Yeah, she is picking it into double AP though, and typically you don't want to pick into double AP, especially with saplings. You get a lot of random magic damage coming through. And with the Liandry's buff, you can take that shield off quickly.
Taking
Ashe picking into Morg is interesting.
Okay.
Do you want to take? Well, I guess. Do you take Ashe into Morgana?
If this is Ashe support, it's fine.
Okay.
If it's Ashe AD, it's probably not great.
I see.
But they can pair it with like a Lux or a Xerath or something like AP heavy and bot. I mean, we've seen some Hui and LCK last night if anybody was watching, so he's obviously disabled right now, but you could pair it with something like that. They do ban Hui, apparently not paying attention to the updates that are going on right now because that champion is already disabled, but, you know...
The caster curse.
Yeah, whatever you gotta do. I do think that is normally a good ban. I think it's more angled towards their mid laner than it would be to their bot. But it is a potential into Morgana to get that shield off, has a lot of long range damage. We do have a Kha'Zix ban and a Kali this time, which is good. Morgana is a pretty decent pickup here, kind of overlaps the Morgana shield, saying, you know, you can only pick one target, which on Jinx is good, but everybody else will be hitting each other, so...
You were nasty coming out.
True.
Renata, Ashe, bot.
This is definitely a strong lane, a lot of bully, heavy pressure early, high damage, a lot of CC, really gankable, especially with the Maokai. Looks like they are going for potentially Yasuo mid here. I don't think they're playing Yasuo jungle or Kench jungle, but, you know, we've seen some crazy stuff.
I would like something with a bit of knock-up in the jungle for Team USA here. Maybe like a Xin Zhao still open, Sejuani still open. I don't know about Malphite jungle.
It's
Wukong, there you go.
Wukong, okay, that has a knock-up.
I do like this. I think Kench isn't heavy enough AP.
Lee Sin.
I think Wukong's better here.
You're
looking
I kind of...
Yeah. You don't
There's
have
not
a lot
too
of
much
lanes
CC.
that are free, so I do like the Wukong.
Wukong's not bad here. It's more of a team fight knock-up than a
for sure.
ganking knock-up, but
this is a lot heavier team fight than pick. They have swapped a little bit towards the style of going for team fight, and it looks like there's
Malphite. Ask and you shall receive, huh?
Is this mid AP Malph or is this mid Gwen?
Probably mid Malphite. The Gwen into Kench looked fine last game, at least for the early part of the lane. She was up, she had the freeze. I think he's fine playing it back.
Yeah, probably going. Maybe even tank Malphite into the Yasuo, I suppose, is probably not the worst pickup. We'll have to see what they go for as far as itemization. We will let teams...
We are getting ours.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about the top side for Team 1 here. If that is indeed not a Gwen top. Because if it's not Gwen top and it's Malphite top, then they are lacking a bit of damage on the top side.
I think it will be Malphite
I'll
mid,
beat it out of
in the even if he goes AP or something, that armor stacking up. But we did have some weird...
Can't win wall Malphite.
Yeah, true.
Who knows? That's a good point. We will have to see.
Are you able to Yasuo dash through the ulti if you're like perfect? Do you get far enough away from the knockup?
No, because he's untargetable. You can't target him to dash.
Wait, he's not untargetable. He's just unstoppable.
Is he not?
No, he's just unstoppable.
I don't think it's big enough to dodge it.
I think it's also not, but what if he goes crazy? What if he, like,
he had his Adderall and his VDs? Yeah, who knows?
I think maybe if Yasuo's already dashing through Malphite and then Malphite R's, like, right on top of himself, but I do think Malphite can make it so it's, like, impossible to dodge if he places it, like, exactly on top of the Yasuo.
Good to know.
What?
No.
Okay, I'm assuming they're just not in order again, but what if this is Maokai mid?
I would be very sad if it's Maokai mid.
Okay.
I like it when teams go 1-1 when they're not my team, because I feel like it adds to the competition level.
That's true. That's true. Fight games
I'll be silently rooting for Team 1 here, since Team USA lost won last.
You brought it up, so it's not as silent, but
no, it's not silent anymore.
Pyroan in the chat brings up a good point. Malphite into triple AD damage dealers is very value pick here.
They do have the innate pen on Yasuo ulti, which helps a little bit for the early potential at 6. But yeah, I mean, really, nobody's killing Malphite other than maybe we're getting Kench eat. And I think with this team, you have a little bit less dive, so unless Jinx gets picked out by an arrow, Kench can kind of use eat a little bit more aggressive on some of these tanks, get some HP off of them to look for a little bit of stall timer. But still kind of looking at the same concept, just not this heavy backline dive that we had last time with Assassins. We have more of the team fight, either front to back or down the carry and get some knockups for the Yasuo.
Yeah. Looking solely at draft, no weird shenanigans, poppy tops, whatever.
But it's Poppy support.
What team do you think won the draft this time?
I feel like this one is actually kind of close.
Yeah.
Which team would you rather have? Personally, I think 1 looks a little bit better. I think they just have a little bit more versatility. They have some more mixed damage. Their comp looks a little bit easier to execute with Maokai ulti and Malphite and Ashe Arrow. Their go button is just much more obvious and easier to follow up on for everyone. So from like a even game state, it's going to be just much easier to get that game-winning ulti from really any one of them has that go button that the rest can train off of.
True.
I'm still concerned that they're lined up as if Maokai is middle, but I don't know if they got in order correctly.
I don't think they're in order.
As far as team choice goes, I think it is also close. It's very similar to the last game where
Mhm.
it's the team that gets ahead kind of snowballs. We have double team fights now. I do think that Renata Ashe are stronger than Jinx Morgana personally right now. You have a lot more control over the lanes and the fights if you play them right, but they do lose if you play them incorrect. So it looks like a winning draft for one if they can play the lanes right. Gwen's winning, bot lane's winning. Malphite should beat Yasuo and should beat him pretty heavily, where you can actually look for some ganks and to keep pressure. But
who wins in the Maokai Yasuo?
True. I think Maokai Yasuo plays about the same. You just can't take really long trades, but if the Maokai plays it right, you do have really good lane shove, about the same as Malphite, so you could potentially look for some 4-man bots, or some sneaky ganks into top lane, after going for grubs, things like that. So there's some playability, but I hope it's Malphite mid. I do think most of the lanes are winning for one if it is Malphite mid. Yeah, it's
So, bot specific question for you. As a Morgana stan, you brought up that Ashe into Morgana as a support is a better matchup than Ashe into Morga as the AD. And I was just wondering why that specific role changes how the matchup is played, in your opinion.
So Ashe AD right now is still okay. I think it is very situational compared to what it was before. Most people in pro play are playing it in support. I think the reason it changes the matchup is that Ashe AD has to CS and Ashe support doesn't. You can go Hail of Blades, which means Morg can Black Shield, but Ashe still applies the auto attacks and like the slow doesn't apply because you have Black Shield on, but you can just pump the damage and get a lane advantage a lot easier with Ashe support and still play something long range. So you could play Ashe Caitlyn into something like this where you basically just poke somebody out, they have no way to lane, and then the Black Shield doesn't really matter because even if the Ashe arrow misses, you're just doing more damage than they are early, and you have more prio, more items. So the Morgana feels good to block the arrow, but bad because you're choosing blocking arrow, blocking Renata Q in this scenario, or blocking Renata ulti, and there's so many options that Morg has to be really good on choosing when to shield, and Jinx has to be positioning properly. I think the Morg pickup is still fine. You're into Malphite, Maokai, like you will block something. It's just, is it enough to block to keep them alive, or are you just blocking the arrow and then getting Malphite ulted and then dying still? So
right.
Yeah, I think the matchup
what
favors.
We're talking about the go button.
Yeah, exactly. I think the matchup favors the team that has multiple options. So getting into Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had the things muted from earlier, and they showed switch.
Oh,
They
no.
actually get switched. It's okay.
Were we
How long-
muted that whole time?
Once we got into
How
game.
long?
Just
Oh,
since we
okay,
got
Okay,
into
okay.
game. There was a level 1, there was some crazy stuff happening. You could probably figure out what we were saying. Looks good for the
Oh my
Ash.
god. Yes, Hail of Blades Ash does not scale as well, but it still looks good.
Morgana not hitting level 2 the same time her laner did.
Yeah, she got back a little bit late. I am interested in the Ghost on Yasuo angle. No combats, especially when looks like a big grab from Renata. Morg has no
Should be another kill for the Ash.
Oh, giving it? Okay, good. Gives it over.
Very nice.
And this is kind of what I was saying with the Ash support. Obviously, most Ash ADs are not taking Hail of Blades, but clearly it's working. So the Ash into Morgana feels bad, especially before Black Shield, but Ash can kind of just walk them down, do a lot of early prio damage. I do like this adaptation from USA, swapping their blue side solo laners so that the Kench can fight the Malphite, not allowing that armor stacking from Malphite into the rest of the team. I would be surprised if he builds MR for this Kench. I think Malphite still is just going to want to go armor and then get into a different lane. Maybe they'll swap back, and we'll have to see. But a couple of itemization choices that will be very pivotal early, especially on this Ash and on the Malphite, I believe, for the side.
The Ash Hawkshot not seeing Wukong there. So they should still be able to assume where he is based off of what they saw, but not actually spotting him there. Maokai trying to gank top, but not finding anything of any real value.
Yeah, he also gets a big chunk there.
Yeah.
When he even goes under the tower and takes a shot, but is still winning that trade and still playing up. I want to see Maokai.
I'm not the biggest fan of ganking top and also not taking the top scuttle there. I think that after that level 1, when bot lane blows all those sums, I think that's the lane you should be trying to gank, not the full summed Yasuo in the top lane. But
They did solo
That's
kill
your
him right
advantage,
after
they're
that.
pushed and everything.
they did still get the solo kill, so it still did, like, good stuff still happened because of that.
True.
But it's just a little scary, because if Wukong decided to skip a few camps to just come bot, which I know happens a decent amount of time, at least with my team, where junglers just decide to go bot after killing one camp.
Just go bot.
Could have been risky, but turned out pretty well for Team 1.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of controlling the pace in this game, and I think even just the hover from Maokai top, while it doesn't do too much, does get a little pressure.
Dive in the top lane.
Wow.
Yep.
Very
Wow,
nice.
that worked out
Making
really
it look
well.
easy.
Jungler definitely showing that he is comfortable playing these champions and wants to go for aggressive early game plays. A lot
Very
of,
true.
A lot of high pressure scenarios from Team USA. Putting it on
Team 1 gonna
side.
try and trade the dragon on the other side of the map for that kill, though.
I think this is
Sure.
an okay
Wukong
trade.
takes grubs as well.
Yep. You get a dragon early stacking, we'll have to see. It looks like it's going Infernal second, so odds we get a good soul is pretty high, other than the fact that maybe we get Chemtech. But first two dragons are looking good and are quite beneficial to this red side team.
I do actually feel like trading dragon for grubs here is very beneficial for Team 1, as I don't think many of the lanes on Team USA will be hitting the tower, other than maybe top lane.
Yeah, top lane will get
We got a fight going on in top side.
When not able to catch up, looks like they're going to start running, but it might not be enough. Level 4 Maokai getting absolutely...
Malphite shows.
Oh,
Big
the flash ult from
Malphite.
Huge
Malphite!
ulti.
Comes in for the save.
Yasuo running for his life. One snip snip coming for you. Big double knock gets him out though.
Ooh, and everybody gets out of there. Just a lot of blown sums.
A lot of blown subs indeed. It looks like only Maokai and the bot lane having flash. Everybody else
Yeah.
on the side of Team
Every
USA.
single sum on top side except for Maokai Flash is down
Quite a back
for a
and
very
forth. I mean,
decent.
honestly, at that point, I would say both teams got a little bit lucky at different points in the fight. Looked good for both of them and got turned around at a couple different points. So not too bad of a skirmish there. Everyone gets out alive. Does benefit the side of Team 1, I think, because they have a bit more pressure on the bot side. It looks like they're going for it again.
Going for another play down in bot.
A little bit of mixed focus here, not a ton of damage. Late exhaust coming through, but it's gonna keep the Jinx fairly healthy.
Got the speed boost
Just
from the
runs
go.
away. Ash uses Ghost.
Only
Makes
a
sure
minor health.
Morgana. Yes,
Do you
true,
feel
true.
like it's okay for Ash Renata to stay even in CS in this lane with the 2 kills? Or do you feel like it needs to be, like, you need more?
It's a really tough matchup. It's like for who actually needs to scale. I think Ash with Halo Blades, them not getting kills is very bad. I think if Ash was going tempo, it would be fine, going something that actually scales, but I think they do need to get kills. Morgana and Renata scale about the same. I think Renata's a little bit higher impact, but not too much. I honestly would have liked to see cleanse from the side of the Jinx into this team.
Yeah.
And Ash and Renata.
Especially into the Renata, yeah.
Playing no cleanse Jinx into Renata, even though you have Morgana, does become scary because as soon as Black Shield's down, you just kill your whole team with 1 Excite, and it's not fun for that side at least. Renata has a real good time getting 4 free kills in a fight though. I think that yeah, this bot lane with Halo Blades though needs to keep pushing their lead. At 2 kills, they can kind of just hover because Ash is naturally going to be ahead, but they do need to do something with it around the map. It needs to get transferred into another dragon, which they already got 1, do some stacking, maybe turn into a Herald later, give them a mid lane, start looking for picks, things like that. Because they don't have a hard carry in team fights other than Gwen, but she's going to take some time to scale up. The rest of them are kind of enablers, supportish roles for this team.
Team 1 was able to get back into their desired lanes after that initial lane swap. Malphite is back in top with the Yasuo. Interesting build coming out of the Wukong, going Hex Drinker first. I guess he's worried about the potential AP in the top and mid for the other team, but probably not what I would have picked to go first on Wukong.
I think it's okay because the whole top side of the map for Team 1 is AP.
That is very true.
If he plans to play the top side, the skirmishes are going to go in his favor quite a bit with brawling, and it is 3 melees versus 3 melees, so you're going to be doing some bruising. I can see why you'd go it. I think it's fine.
I do see the plus side of it. I probably would not be trying to gank this bot lane though with that item.
True.
No.
I'd probably try and stick around top side more.
Passive though, Nightmare. You got to think about it. 20 damage.
That's true.
It's true.
She does have the little gun that she shoots with. Does that do AP damage?
The littlest gun.
Little gun, big damage.
The finger point gun.
I do want to point out that the gold values are pretty even. We do have a 500 gold lead for the Yas in top. He's up 15 CS, which is pretty significant. But even the bot lane with the 2 kills on Ashe is only up 400 gold, so they're starting to even out on the Jinx side just out of farm here, I think.
Wukong wants to fight here, but already is down the W. Maokai ult misses the Wukong.
Yasuo does get the win wall off, but it looks like he's stuck in a 3v1. Can he get to the tower? They do back off. It's a triple knockup, doesn't go in.
I do feel like that might have been a dead Wukong if Maokai placed his ult a little bit better.
He does have flash, so maybe they're just thinking
that's true.
Go for the mid/top lane or whatever you want to call Yasuo here.
They're deciding not to take the last growth. Interesting.
I think they're worried about the dragon trade going.
Oh yeah, true. They might just be wanting to get the dragon. I do think stacking dragons will be very good for Team 1 here, so I understand the call off of the grub.
Yep, 3 man.
Huge Renata
ult layer over.
Is it enough
the rocket
damage
goes
though?
Wide.
Looks like Team 1
not a passive. Can they get one back?
They don't have the damage dealers. They
should transition to Drake as well for them.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier in the draft, was the Maokai Malphite just does not do that much damage in these 2v2s and 3v3s.
Yeah, it's all utility. I would have liked to see Ashe move up. She kind of just sat at tower there, not looking
at
the farm. Looks like she's going to try to make a hero play.
Missed the arrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they win that if Ashe arrows, and even if she ghosts up towards that fight and just beats Jinx, because they're both farming, and again, the scaling is way better for Jinx. She just wants to sit in this 1v1 lane and do nothing and let her team just kill her.
Yeah. Even though she's down 2 kills, she's up 20 CS, so gold is almost even.
Exactly. And you want to think about the fact that that was a 3v3 with all the same roles there, and that was a triple Renata ult, double Malphite ult, and Maokai didn't have ulti, but they started the fight out on top of the Wukong and just didn't have the damage to finish anyway.
Yeah.
Even with the Renata
they hit all their stuff, it's just their champions were not as good as the other team's champions in that situation.
We are seeing a repeat of last game where jungler has 2 kills and one of the solo lanes happens to be Yasuo right now. We'll call him the mid laner for this minute. Is 2-0 again, so we're kind of looking at a repeat scenario with a different team.
A gank bot here, getting the flash out of Jinx and killing the Morgana.
And again, you see it there. Morgana, I mean, could have flashed. I would have liked to see, you know, maybe a Summer Use to try to live, but she does Black Shield Jinx, and then Jinx flashes, so can't stop everything, and Ashe just walks her down with the slow, even without the arrow. So, big Maokai ulti, maybe a little bit of a misplay on the Morgana not shielding herself, and Jinx flashing, but could be a combo issue, could just be a, I think I'm dead here, never know.
I do think this game is going to probably come down to can Team USA get onto the Ashe? And if they can't, then I would like to see Team 1 do a good job peeling her to win these fights.
I think it will eventually scale later into how active is this one in fights. Because the Ashe will become somewhat of an ult bot. She's going Kraken. Looks like a big damage.
Yasuo Morgana on Malphite in mid.
Looks like Exhaust. He
Wait,
does a nice
flash.
He's out.
And he's gone.
Oh, but the Jinx rocket coming
here
in
it comes.
hot.
Oh no!
The snipe.
He walked right back into it. Oh no, that's a tough one.
Looks like a kill coming over for topside here too. Just gets absolutely munched on by Boozle.
Both solo laners dying within a minute of each other is not a good look for Team 1.
It's not great. And
Yeah, USA starting to balloon the gold lead here.
Yeah, really taking over in their solo lanes. I think they kind of said, you know, our bot lane's getting to free farm. They're up 30 CS now after being down 2 kills, and they said we're just going to focus on the rest of the map. We're going to let our Morgana die for our sins, as in the lore, and we're just going to CS and we're going to kill everybody else on the other side. And later on, she'll be Black Shield, and that's about it.
And even with Ashe having 3 kills to the Jinx 1, this bot lane matchup is essentially even in gold with how much CS Jinx is up. Both basically at 5,000 gold right now.
Also, Morgana has a completed support item already, and Renata does not, even though she's died 3 times. That's a big difference in damage here. And I do want to point out Morgana going the new rune in the inspiration tree that gives you the 3 different potions. So she will also be getting a skill up in 1 level. She'll getting that bonus skill, and that will propel her a little bit further forward of this Renata. A little bit more damage, and she will probably put, I would say, a second point in pool just to give a little bit more AP dam, but maybe she'll go for Black Shield. We'll have to see.
I like Team 1 invading Wukong's bot side here and taking his bot side camps. I feel like you need to be utilizing this. Ashe ulti and Renata ulti.
She's gonna do some damage.
And the grip.
She's going. Malphite has ulti in 3 seconds. Black Shield goes down. Malphite doesn't get the ult. Gets rooted under tower. Looks like he's still gonna die though.
It was a nice look with the arrow into Renata passive. Trust that it hit. They do pick up both.
They are going to lose their top lane second tier turret, which will be a lot of gold injected into Team USA.
As good as that looks for Red Team, I think they're still coming out behind. I mean, the gold lead is not going away, but also they trade 2 for 1 with 4 people on side, and they do get the red buff, but they're losing a T2 tower with local gold, and the pressure on the map right now is just not going their way with committing this many people to getting a double kill on the 1-in-4 Morgana now.
Just bleeding too much gold in the solo lanes here.
I think this also potentially shows for a bit of a mismatch in the side lanes later because of how much gold's going to go through, and with those towers down, you're going to have a lot of pressure for Yasuo to just dash through waves and catch up to people that he is already ahead of, especially with the level advantage being a level up right now against both solos. I do want to change the...
I do think that Team 1 still has a chance in this game, though. They have a lot of picking tools with the Malphite ulti and the Ashe ult, so if they can find some picks on these high prio targets like the Wukong or the Yasuo and get those shutdowns, they can still be in this game.
They definitely have some wins. I think
Nash has nothing to worry about with a fed Yasuo and a fed Wukong on the other team. She should be fine to just free hit the whole team fight.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing right now is using the Renata ult and the Maokai ult. They have a ton of disengage ultis. On top of being able to go in, you look for the Ashe arrow into Malphite, you pick 1 person, and then you use the Renata ulti, the Maokai ulti to stop them from re-engaging on you. You take the fight slow, and it's cooldowns.
Malphite goes in, Morgana Black Shield a little bit too slow. Kench eats Morg
they're
out.
getting onto the Ashe. Ashe does get taken down by the TK.
Looks like both ADCs dead. We're gonna have to see who does more damage with no ADs here.
It's looking pretty bad for Team 1.
Yeah, Gwen not having the damage to put any substantial kills back on the board for them. Looks like they're just gonna chase Maokai out of this and start the dragon. Maybe a dive looking for
Yeah.
Kench here. Definitely looks like a dive angle.
TK should go in first.
Yep, Yasuo does take aggro. There could be
Yasuo
a
does
trade
tank
back.
first though.
Maokai doing a
And
good
he's
job
dead.
of living. Very nice.
That is a
Big
big
shutdown back.
shutdown.
Maokai tries to go back in. Does get Heart Steel proc to
Yeah.
Tom Kench.
A little bit of a misplay there from Team USA for Maokai not tanking first, or TK not tanking first there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they tried to rush that too. He's pretty much dead, 100%.
Yeah.
TK can
And
just
he's
let
not
it go.
going anywhere.
Yeah, he's not. Well, he was then after, you know,
True.
dying.
After dying.
But,
Still a 6k
But he's
gold
not going
into
anywhere else.
USA.
yeah, I mean,
Even
I
though they
think
get the kill back, it's still a lost fight.
I think we're getting into the portion where you have a almost 3k gold lead on Yasuo over Gwen or over Malphite now, and TK is also up almost 2,000. You're just looking at such a substantial gold lead that the wallets are starting to just come out and smack everybody, and you're kind of just losing to raw damage. I mean, we had a good ulti from Vix onto the Jinx, and zones are out completely, but the rest of the champions just win in the isolated 4v4, even with no ADCs.
Zoning out the Jinx in like a vacuum is good, but like at this point in the game when a lot of the gold is on the Wukong and Yasuo, like it's just too hard for the bot lane of Team 1 to like walk up to try and hit the Jinx there. They just die, as they did.
Yeah, I think exactly what I was talking about before that fight is kind of what they need to be looking for. Oh, she flashes and the Black Shield. A little bit of the spams again, but it at least gets a flash out from the Ashe. They need to be playing these fights with the Malphite, looking for more defensive fights. You need to be picking one champion in the front, potentially a melee, probably Yasuo or Wukong, like Nora was saying, and then using your other ults to kite back rather than to keep going in. Looks like they are.
Oh, and Ashe is gonna go down here.
Ashe just falls down. We're gonna picking up the kill. Renata's staying a long time here. He's a little bit too greedily. Does get the ulti out. Maybe Jinx kills more down.
Oh,
Malphite in the bush. This looks
not
like
quite.
it's a triple potentially. TP from
Malphite
Gwen
does
coming
not
behind
have ulti.
Gwen does have ulti and is coming.
Probably gets that one, but I don't know if she catches the mark.
Yasuo kills
Yeah.
Maokai under bot side. It looks like it is a 4-for-1. They do get a shutdown, but again, gold lead just expanded.
Yeah.
8,000.
Yeah, 8k now.
And 2 dragons. I mean, Team 1's win con was looking like dragon stacking with that Ocean Soul. Would have been nice with 2 tankier champions. It wasn't Gwen, but I mean, and the Heralds coming out. They're really just falling behind in objectives, and they're nowhere near the goal that they need to do to fight this game. Especially with,
So
Looking-
if you're one, how do you come back from this? How do you try to get back into this game and start?
We-
You
used to have
gotta.
a saying in MLCS on how to come back from these, and it was the other team needs to make a mistake a lot of times in a row. They're pretty much just sitting here hoping that the enemy team throws a Baron to them, gets to the point where they can Elder Flip, but I mean, looks like a couple
Looking
of
like they have a
things-
force
Something like
on
this
something.
is-
They get
yeah,
one
Could be
shutdown
a
back.
play.
Big shutdown on Yasuo. They are going to get the cone over. Should be the end. Yasuo or Ashe did get an auto on Morg after, but I think if they overchase this, they get punished here by the Jinx. Looks like they are going for it though. Gwen does.
Yeah,
have
Jinx is
Ghost.
very large. Spike's the second item here.
Kench just. Oh my god, he just needs some.
The tongue for the kill. Yep.
Yeah, I mean we're looking at a little bit of gold traded
Got some
back,
recall.
but very much missing the concept of strong versus weak side here. Pretty much every time there's a fight, even when they're getting shut down, someone's dying on the other side. So really need to prioritize one person sitting and catching waves while the other side of the team just kind of makes those plays. I would assume, I'm kind of interested to see Blue defending this bot side tower with 4 people when they could just go to Baron here.
Ooh, yeah.
They are going to get a kill back.
They're gonna get the kills.
2.
And now the question is, do they run straight to Baron or do they push this bot lane? Probably pushing bot lane out, but could pretty much do whatever they want at this point. A little bit weird focusing on
Kench.
the bot side, but Kench just beating up.
I mean, Kench getting solo kill after solo kill, picks the top laner, picks the support here. Maybe Ashera saves him. We will see. Gets the tongue, but it is not enough.
Ash dies points, I think. He has flash.
Yeah, he just goes for it now. He probably kills both. Yep, that's one.
This Tahm Kench pick is going absolutely insane. I think part of it is that the unmatched kills in the side lane are just allowing these solo laners to do whatever they like, and I mean, Heartstale Tahm Kench is a squishy Ashe. A lot of pressure on the bot side, and while they're dealing with this Kench and getting 2v1'd by the top laner, they're also losing every tower. Looks like they are sitting at 11,000 gold down, have a large gold lead.
Oh, Wukong just got executed.
You know, sometimes people die to
Relatable.
towers, it's unfortunate. But I think Malphite also, a little bit of an overstay here. Wukong making a big mistake, and now they get caught. I mean, stuff like this is what you need to get back.
Do you think they can push Baron? 3 dead, including jungle. I think if they have any
You
hope,
might have to, yeah.
I feel like they should look for it right here.
But they definitely go Baron. Yeah.
I was actually just about to say that Wukong was having a very methodical game this game. He was doing a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, that was his first death. I mean, they're getting a ton of gold influx back from these shutdowns. They're just dying a bunch on it. Yasuo actually gonna opt to come up and maybe stop this Baron versus doing it. I do think Kench and Yasuo can potentially kill these guys, but I would have also liked the Dragon trade because it does push them closer to the Rubicon. But if they kill everyone here, they get very.
Ooh, Ashe Arrow
No Ash
missing.
Arrow. Yas goes in. Huge damage.
Need to be peeling the Ashe here.
Gene Salty goes wide.
There's a lot of damage.
Kench living forever.
This guy is tanky.
One goes down. Renata passive. Bailout does not save him. Here's the
And
Wukong. Kills
it's
the
gone.
one. Thanks for the leash, guys. That's another kill. Wukong absolutely cleaning up this fight.
They do shut down. This might be.
They're actually getting
Zoom.
some shutdowns.
Zoom, it's
Yeah,
scary.
Gwen is Zoom though.
Morgana there. Okay.
If they can get out of this, this is not bad.
Yeah, this
They
is
can
a
get
1
out.
for 1 for sure. I think that they could have played it a bit cleaner, but trading those 2 giant shutdowns for 2 of their own is okay. Looks like they're gonna go back in. There's that Hex Drinker.
Huge
probably
Moss
goes
shield.
Maw.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the Wukong's itemization is very poor this game. I will say that. As much as that shield helps, I think going Maw into what is this item called?
Stance?
Death's Dance.
Death's Dance?
I think the double, like, you get AD, but I think there are some other items that potentially are a bit stronger here. He does live.
What would you have rather seen?
I mean, I think Sundered Skies just out heals the Death's Dance. I kind of think Death's Dance in scenarios like this is fine because you don't die, but there's just higher risk, maybe better build patterns.
Yeah. And it helps with your burst initial on Q as well.
Yeah, I think building into Maw over Hexbringer is just also a little bit tough, but he's doing well with it, so really difficult if you want to move far ahead.
They are going to trade the Dragon for the Baron, which is not ideal, but
It's a
at least
small
it's not
W.
nothing.
Yeah.
When you're 12k down, any objective is a good one.
I think if Team 1 can withstand this Baron without losing all 3 of their inhibs, I think they will be happy with the situation they're in. At least compared to how the rest of the game is going.
Yeah, I think they're in an okay spot. It does suck because Ashe is falling off with the Hail of Blades. Also, Jinx is finishing LDR, so they do have quite a bit of front-to-back difference now. But they might be able to pull out a little bit of base defense tricks so that they can get Gwen to a 3rd item, and maybe she can cut through some of these tankier champions. Wukong getting a GA, again, like, the itemization's a little bit weird because the items are slightly low impact, but he doesn't die, and really he's just going in and setting the Yasuo up, so he's gonna be quite a force for them to take down, especially with how much damage he's gonna be doing if he does come on that line.
Very true, very true.
And they still have this Kenchi, which the shield should be pretty massive, having the level 14, not quite 16, but it's still about an 800 shield, I believe, off the initial eat. And for this team that's mostly burst and engage, Kenchi's going to be able to save one person. Going to be a tough hold here. Not a lot of wave clear. It's almost all melee. Ashe Volley not going to do much to the minions. Looks like they are trying to poke them off a bit, but not too much.
Ashe does have to be very careful here with having no flash.
True, I mean, they might just get to the point if they stack enough waves here that they just dive the tower. It looks like Wukong's going to try to push top. I don't think... Gwen can maybe match him. I don't think she can kill him unless he really tries to fight her, but he can at least get that wave shoved in and then maybe look for a flank. Looks like he's getting pinched, though, going a little bit...
The Wukong, while having the Maw and the Death Stance, is still relatively squishy. Like, he does not have that much health.
He doesn't have the health, he just has the tank stats, but it's not quite a lot of effective health. They would have to kill him twice to even tricks.
True.
It's annoying to kill him, but it's not hard. I think it's just one of those things where if he overcommits, he dies, but if he doesn't, he's kind of just this nuisance that's sitting in the side lane, pushing all your inhibs down. You have to match him with someone and you need the damage into 5v4, so you can't really afford to put him. Malphite also just getting chunked at.
Oh, Malphite is just dying here.
Okay,
From the
ulti
back
is
on
gonna-
Ash.
Malphite does get an ulti, but he is dead. Renata gonna go a little bit wide with the ult.
And Gwen's dead.
Yeah, we're just
Big
getting
rocket.
pushed.
That's yeah. And this is probably game.
Are we gonna get a pentakill though?
Does not look like it.
See?
Oh, that's a
close.
quadra though.
Quadra, big quadra for the Jinx, and they're gonna clean it up at 27 minutes. Spit faster.
Oh my god, look at that attack speed on the Jinx. That's crazy.
Quite a large amount of gold lead, 15k at 27 for USA, 2-0ing Team 1. GG's to the players there. Looks like a pretty decent series. I think overall we had quite the drafts. A little bit of spicy picks. Didn't get to see game 1 unfortunately, but game 2 did play out very similar in the beginning and looks like they closed it out efficiently. Team USA looking very good on these champions, very comfortable on the Yasuo.
Yeah.
bench.
Some strong solo laners, a strong jungler.
For sure.
I agree. I think I'd like to shout out the Wukong there. I thought, even though the build might have not been ideal, I thought that the Wukong did like a very good job of orchestrating the game and what he wanted to do and making sure that his team got ahead in the lanes that they needed to get ahead in. So props to him.
Simping over
Yeah.
jungle. Look at these guys. Jungle does make the game so much easier when you just have some dude that can go in there and get to work.
True. Very true.
We do have a keys to victory slide. There's no keys to victory. Just look at the draft. Honestly, just pick. I mean, you can look between both these two drafts and take a peep. They are Yasuo with or Yasuo on one side, not doing the most functioning in bot lane, and then Yasuo on the other side, looking with the Tahm Kench to be a pretty strong solo. So next time you're thinking, maybe consider, does Yasuo go bot or does he go mid or top maybe? Take that into consideration. Looks like some of these wonky picks do have potential, but they might take a little bit more fleshing out before they can get played into some of these very strong solos. Any closing remarks from you two for this, well, half of a wonderful stream, you know?
No, this has been a good time. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
It's been a good time. I'd like to look at how the first game went, if possible.
Yeah, we'll check in. We will probably have to get the recording, and then that might just be a separate stream. We'll see if we can get it tonight, if people are still around. Otherwise, maybe another day. But we will take a peek and see if we can give you guys an update. Otherwise, thanks for coming out. Make sure to check out the stat sheet. I'm guessing, are you still gonna put it out, or are you gonna see if you can find this first? What's your...
It will
Should we put it
be
up on stream?
probably like
All the
30
cool
to.
stuff?
It'll probably be 30 minutes after we get the replay file, if possible, so I can enter in all the information for that game.
Okay.
But it will be coming out tonight, so if you want to see your
He's tracking a
stats,
whole lot of stuff.
it'll be there.
Make sure you check out the stats, and that will be it for us on this cast today. There will probably be a VOD of the other game. We will keep you guys updated on that, so look out for that in the chats and the watch parties. Otherwise, thank you.
Thank all of you for playing. Thank you for watching. GG's.
GG's.